Inravio.com.
Hello again, everybody. This is Joe Larson.
And Chuck Schultz.
Welcome to another night of Race Talk at the 505 on Racing Show live from New York. Tonight we have an interesting show. We're going to talk about Darlington. I happened to be at Darlington for the weekend, so had a great time there. The Cup, Xfinity, and Truck Series was there. Dover. Why am I saying Darlington? Because that's on my wish list.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been there either.
The Monster Mile. I should have just said that, and I would have known it's Dover. Sorry about that, folks.
The Monster Mile. Yeah, I've been there several times. Kind of nice.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I had a good nap there, I think, turn 4.
Did you really?
1 year. Yeah, it was a good nap.
Yeah, it was.
I woke up, like at home. I woke up just in time for the last 50. You know what I mean? It was good.
I fixed my mic, it was a nice weekend, except for Sunday. They got rained out. They ran today, so we'll talk about that. Then we're going to go into the touring series, the modifieds, and the K&N Pro Series ran twin 100s at South Boston. Kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, twin 100s. So if you missed that race and you were like third in points, you're now like 13th or 14th in points. Yeah.
Because there were 2 of them.
Because
they were back-to-backs.
2 separate races.
What about if you got knocked out? You had to have a backup car for the backup car?
I know when like the weekly tracks have twin races, if you're knocked out, you're knocked out. There's no but they do it a little different. They throw the weekly series, they throw a check of yellow, reline the field, and go right back to it. Some of them. Some just check of yellow, check the field, go green again. So,
wow.
We're going to talk about that.
There's no time for cleaning up and straightening out.
No. And then we got some NASCAR news to always talk about. We always talk about NASCAR news. And then we just have some stuff to end the show with.
That's right.
So
some fun stuff.
Yeah. So we're going to take a quick break. And we come back. We'll be talking about what went on at Dover International Speedway.
Dover?
Dover, not Darlington.
Dover, Delaware.
Dover, Delaware. The Dover Downs. We'll be back.
Hey, what's oh, I was going to say what's up for some reason. Hey, we're Set It Up, and you're watching the Inravio TV network.
Village Music Shop of Mastic. 1-800-HEY-DUDE, your full-service store with personalized attention, school band instrument rentals and sales, music instruction on all instruments for all styles and age groups, for guitars, drums, amplifiers, PA systems, and accessories. It's Village Music Shop, 1495 Montauk Highway in Mastic. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE or go to villagemusicshop.com.
Hi there, this is Buddy from Less Than Jake, and you are listening to Inravio TV. You're probably watching it too.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Inravio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Inravio.com.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to the show. We're at Dover. Written in big letters, Dover.
Big letters on my thing.
Where am I? Darlington?
Darlington.
Dang.
ISO Speedway. It's been one of those days, folks. Please. It's been one of those last couple of days. But anyway, yeah, here we are, Dover.
So you were back on the road for a couple of days, and now you don't even know what town you're in.
You know, but
Love it.
Dover. The monster mile. They have this big monster guy out front, you know, holding the car, you know, holding.
Yep.
And they made that the trophy. Well, they've made it the trophy the last few years. So.
Well, this year's their 50th year, so they had a special trophy this year.
Yes.
Gold. Gold. 60 pounds.
Yeah.
60-pound gold trophy.
In
That's a heavy trophy.
In the Gander Outdoor Truck Series, I watched them try to lift it up, and it took a couple of tries. I actually snuck my way into Victory Lane. I snuck my way in. You know, if you do it like you know what you're doing, nobody bothers you. Just do it. Just go in with the crowd. Just like you're blowing it. But if you're like, then they know. They know this guy, get him out. And a lot of people recognized me, so they thought I belonged there anyway.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, right. So anyway.
Unless you got a hit on you, then that's a different story.
Exactly. But anyway,
Joey Bag of Donuts was like, yeah, I know that guy over there. Who's that guy?
who's that guy?
Who's that wise guy over there?
What guy? Where's he from? Anyway, the Cup race ran today. The Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series ran today because it was rained out Sunday. Because, you know, 100% chance of rain. They tried, and, you know, it's not happening. It's just not happening. And I feel bad when that does happen because what does happen is all the people who planned the race to be Sunday, they plan to go home Sunday night or early Monday. They got to get back to wherever they live, and
all their arrangements are done.
You've already
happening.
checked out of your hotel.
And really, who can change and who's got to be back at work? Who doesn't have to be back at work? You don't go by yourself. There's a group of people.
Exactly.
You know, what kind of accommodations do you have to stay another day? You know.
And hotels are not cheap. They're, you know, for the weekend it's like $500, $600. So some people don't have that extra $150 to stay.
If you were lucky enough to have a motorhome and you could stay there and pick up the extra day, that's not a bad thing. But
no, but it was.
Plus, of course, the Monster Mile is not a lot of infield to motorhome at. So.
Oh no, it's pretty much relegated to
drivers
and team owners and NASCAR higher ups.
Yeah.
The motor coach lot is actually across the street and up the block, or 2 or 3, because it's a big spread out. And I guess based on how long you've been going on your seniority levels.
So now when they start building these tracks in levels,
exactly.
You put the track up on like the 3rd level, and right? Somebody goes over.
Yeah.
That would not be good.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be good. But anyway.
But anyway, it was a nice,
It was a nice thing.
It was a nice weekend. You were there for quite some time.
Yes.
Which was nice. You got to see a lot of different things.
A lot of different things, and unfortunately, I could not stay for the Cup race, and which was run this afternoon, and I believe we have results for that to show you. Here we go. Martin Truex Jr. was the winner, followed by Alex Bowman. Kyle Larson was 3rd, Kevin Harvick 4th, Chase Elliott was 5th, followed by Eric Jones in 6th, Joey Logano 7th, William Byron 8th, Clinton Boyer 9th, and Kyle Busch rounding out the top 10. Little news out of Dover. It's 50 years of racing at the Monster Mile, and they held 100 Cup events in that 50 years. Richard Petty winning the first event in 1969.
At 11, he won. It was, I believe it was Petty and DW have 11. They're tied with Johnson for that venue, and Johnson was hoping to get a 12th there, so he could beat him out. And
Be interesting.
He didn't get it.
He didn't get it.
He didn't get it, but he's 11. Could you imagine winning 11 races at one track on a touring series? That's pretty awesome.
I'd like to win one race at one track someday.
There you go.
Just one.
I'll set up my AFX track. You can win
know?
one race right there. So they had, and then of course, Jimmy had a little bit of a little scuffle there with Denny Hamlin early on.
He did.
Could have almost lost it right there.
And that's a place. It was kind of funny. Not that it's funny. I shouldn't say funny. The corner speeds with this new package were 12 miles an hour faster. The straightaway speeds were 8 miles an hour slower.
Well, because of the concrete, I think doesn't that have something to do with it?
It
You get a little more
does.
grip,
Right.
but you're going to get less on the ends, right?
Right. I stood
So
on the
ultimately,
overpass.
it should give a better racing,
Yeah. I stood on the bridge in turn 2
Okay.
during practice, and the front nose dam, it's 3/4 of an inch off, and you could see the cars that were hooked up, because the cars that were hooked up were coming off that turn, and if you could see my hand, like this, and the nose piece was equal all the way around, all the way across, I should say. The guys that were a little shy in the setup, the nose piece was lifting a little, but they weren't coming across this way. They were right there. And the ones coming with the nose they're not moving were faster. It was just an interesting thing to watch and to point out.
Is that because they were on the bump stops or what?
They changed the aero package for this race. Again, they keep, I would hate to be a fabricator because they keep changing the rules on how you have to do things. And be a car owner has to keep shelling it out. But, they're trying to make the cars more competitive. But passing is still an issue. Still an issue.
Well, yeah, you want to make them race so that you can keep it interesting. What else are you going to do? But
And single car qualifying returned to the top 3 series, starting at Dover. And that ends that group qualifying, which has been in effect since 2014. It was just, I don't know. But 50 years, that's awesome.
yeah, it's a long time, but that's,
The Xfinity Series was there as well. And that was an interesting race if you like parades. We have the results for that one. Christopher Bell won that one, followed by Justin Argyle. Tyler Reddick was third. Cole Custer I had an opportunity to speak to in the garage area, led over 155 laps, but not the ones that counted, was fourth. Chase Briscoe was fifth. Austin Cindric sixth. Brandon Jones seventh. John Hunter Nemechek eighth. Zane Smith ninth. And Michael Annette rounding out the top 10. When I say it was a parade, it was single file, no passing. Cole Custer was in command until like lap 155. He beat every restart, he beat them to the corner and just checked out. And I don't know if they made a change on pit road, maybe put in a little too much wedge, changed the stagger a little bit, but one of those late in the 150s pit stops, he went backwards and had to fight his way back into a top 5. It was
something went wrong.
yeah,
there.
something.
He didn't hit anything. He didn't bump anybody.
He was out there all by himself.
Yeah, so it had to be something on pit road.
Yeah, and it was a single file
It had to
race.
be some sort of adjustment or a tire change or something, whatever it was.
For the truck race, I was right there on pit road, and I watched a team come in even on greens, 2 rounds. Come in, 2 rounds. Then they come back in, take them out. I'm like, this is something that
They were probably having a hard time dialing in. The track was probably just not there.
Yeah.
Not what they expected.
And in the Xfinity series, and as well as the truck series, what I noticed too, there were 3 distinct groupings. throughout the race. There was the top 12, not only in practice but in the race. Any one of those 12 could win. Then it was the middle group. The middle group was having a race within a race. And then there's the I don't want to say the back markers, but the guys in the back. They were getting lapped, like 5 laps after every start, or the one start, and every restart. The disparity was like this much. It was interesting to watch. You see, that's something you wouldn't see on TV, because they're showing the front runners, and they're showing cars getting lapped, but they're not showing and talking about how quickly they were getting lapped. And then and I wasn't listening.
And it wasn't like it was 2 or 3 cars; it was a group.
Yeah, and it was like, they were pitting because the tire was saying, maintain speed, because minimum speed in any of the NASCAR series, whether it's a top 3 or touring, minimum speed is the pole speed, the time. Time is 1.25. If you can't maintain that, you're going to get off the track. A lot of people don't know that. And they'll be told, all right, car, number 37, you're not keeping up. Get down pit road, fix it. So they'll throw a round or 2 in, maybe change the outside tires and send it back out. Sometimes they're not going to find that speed. It's not there. So, but it was an interesting race to watch live. It was interesting. And of course, the Gander Outdoor Camping Series Truck Series was also there. And I was right on pit road for that one. Right on pit road. And we have the results for that one as well. We have Johnny Sauter was the leader, followed by Brett Moffitt. Harrison Burton was 3rd, Grant Enfinger 4th, Matt Crafton 5th, Ben Rose 6th, Austin Hill 7th, Derek Krause 8th, Tyler Ankrum 9th, and Ross Chastain rounding out the top 10. And like I said, I got into pit road, and there was like people in my way, like with bigger cameras and stuff than I had. I couldn't get a good, clear shot, but I was there. And just watching him pick up that monster guy, it was like he was trying to, like press it, got it up,
60 pounds is a heavy piece. Especially when you're trying to balance that over your head.
Yeah.
And it's not a short.
No.
It's a tall trophy.
Yeah, it's like picking up a 50-pound bag of potatoes and like 2 cases of beer at the same time.
You would think that for pit road they would have had one that was
plastic.
You hear what I'm saying? Because God forbid, because this guy just ran the race. He gets out. He's a little wobbly to begin with.
Right.
We all know that. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're Jimmy Johnson and you just did the Boston Marathon.
Yeah.
You get out and you're a little wobbly to begin with, and that sucker goes over and takes out 2 or 3 people on national TV. It's the last thing you want to happen.
Yeah.
So here's the plastic one. Hoist that one up. Pump it, the whole thing. But take this one home with you.
Yeah. Exactly. And to have with the plate with your name on it and all
Right,
that
sure.
stuff. Yeah. But I think we have a video of I was on pit road, and I watched this team come in, and they were running up front, Ben Rhodes, and they were running up front most of the day. And he came in for his pit stop, and to gain track position, which means to get ahead of some people, everybody took 4 tires. They took 2. And I believe we have that video as well. I was like right there. 2 tires around the wedge, boom, stalls it. 1, 2 trucks go driving past them. That's midway on pit road. That was near the start-finish line.
So he
you don't
lost
know
everything he made by the 2 tires.
Exactly. And think about it. You're changing 2 tires and putting in 11 gallons of gas in about 9 seconds.
And 2 wedges.
And 2 wedges.
2 rounds of wedge you did there.
2 rounds of wedge in there. And it's just amazing. Some races are won and lost on pit road, like we said with Cole Custer. Something had to happen on pit road.
Well, honestly, when you think about it, they're so evenly matched on the track that really there is no, unless somebody gets bent, I mean, how are you going to have an advantage over the next guy?
Exactly.
Or unless you're racing against somebody who's on really old tires,
right.
What kind of advantage are you really going to have on the track these days? Yeah. So everything is made in the pits, and they're just waiting for somebody to make a mistake.
Exactly.
And who's going to be the one who doesn't make all the mistakes?
Right.
And, on the other race, you had Elliott and Bowman both had the fastest pit stops.
Yep.
You know, and really, how much faster can they get? I mean, it's like lightning speed now.
The Wood brothers invented
know.
the pit stop.
Absolutely.
And they were doing 22-second
And they
pit
took
stops.
the other gun away from them, and they're still
Yep.
doing good.
They're still.
They're back down into the teens.
Yeah,
the
they
low
practice
teens.
this like they're
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
But that's where it's either made or lost. And a second or two in the pits is that's a big deal.
Oh yeah,
It's a big deal. I mean, it doesn't look like it was that big of a deal. Oh, he stalled it. Oh, you know, but you know, if it's 3 seconds because of a couple of tires and you stall it and you're not on the gas and 2 trucks go by, you just lost 2 spaces.
Did, which is big.
Which is big.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to take a break, and we come back. We're going to have some touring series results. The K&N Pro Series was at South Boston, and the NASCAR Wheel and Modifieds was scheduled to run in Stafford Motor Speedway in Connecticut for the second time. We'll talk about that when we come back.
Hi, I'm Remington.
I'm Emerson.
And I'm Sebastian.
We're Palais Royale, and you're watching Inravio TV.
There we go.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Inravio can get your message out there, and we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Inravio.com.
Hey, this is Chris Less Jake, and if Inravio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
Village Music Shop of Mastic. 1-800-HEY-DUDE, your full-service store with personalized attention, school band instrument rentals and sales, music instruction on all instruments for all styles and age groups, for guitars, drums, amplifiers, PA systems, and accessories. It's Village Music Shop, 1495 Montauk Highway in Mastic. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE or go to villagemusicshop.com.
Hi, this is Mike Jarecki from My Race News, and you're watching the Inravio TV network.
I didn't hear the back thing. I guess if I had my ear thing in, it would help. Anyway, welcome back.
Welcome back to the show.
I'm glad you caught that, because that would be like sitting there, and it would be in one of our blooper shows.
Picking your nose. Right?
Yeah, on one of our blooper shows.
One.
I'm just saying, well, you have an hour to fill in.
Have a volume of blooper show. Every show's a blooper show.
Every show has a
we
blooper.
could probably put together like 10 to 15 seconds worth of a
could.
good show.
Oh, yeah. If it's not fun, why do it? Anyway,
That's what we're here for, right?
the NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour was rained out again at the Stafford Motor Speedway at the annual Spring Sizzler in Connecticut. It's postponed, and it's going to be run. That's the second rain out, 2 weekends in a row. It is going to be run this coming Friday as part of Stafford's regular, normal weekly show, Friday, May 10th. So if you want to go catch a modified race, and you don't have to spend the whole weekend, because that's what they tend to do. It's a one-day show. They're going to come in, they're going to race, and they're going to go home. So Stafford Motor Speedway Friday night. Now the K&N Pro Series East ran twin 100s at the South Boston Speedway in Virginia, and I've never heard of that in the touring series. I've heard of it in the weekly, but never in touring.
Yeah, that sounds a bit much.
Yeah.
But I guess if you're going to tow there, you might as well do a half a dozen races in one shot.
Yeah, I mean, I know the Cup Series is going to run 2 days in a row at Pocono International Speedway in Pocono, Pennsylvania. So
2 days in a row.
Saturday and a Sunday for the Cup cars.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
So are they going to do heat races too? or-
Heat races, consies.
So they're going to do the Pocono Saturday race and a Pocono Sunday race.
Yeah, so what do they have to do? Like bring 3 cars in case one gets destroyed?
Do they have to qualify twice?
I haven't seen the format, so I'm going to have to find out how that's going to have to go down.
Maybe they should run the Saturday race forward and run the Sunday race backwards so
go.
that they wind up at the start line again.
And if they do the second race backwards, because the infield people, the campers in Partyland, they're not going to know the difference.
Now, do you pay twice for that ticket because it's 2 races?
Maybe you pay double.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because I think it's going to be hard to get people out
And get them back in.
and get them up. Like years ago at ISA Speedway, and here I go.
So now
years
those are
ago-
2-point races, though.
Yes, 2 separate point races. Years ago, ISA Speedway on a Friday night had a rock and roll guy. Now, I'll be doggone if I can remember his name. Oh, my goodness. But anyway, it was a rock and roll show. Saturday, when they opened the pits, most of the people were still in the grandstands
From Friday night.
from Friday night, and it was a problem. It was a problem getting them out. I was just a kid.
Because they just stayed.
Yeah, because I wasn't at the concert, but
They
I
were
was
sleeping in the bleachers.
passed out, sleeping, place is a mess, and they never did that again. Didn't do that again. But anyway, the K&M Pro Series race 1 went something like this. Let's see what we got. Here we go. Tanner Gray was the winner there, followed by Sam Mayer. Max McLaughlin was 3rd. Spencer Davis 4th. Ruben Garcia Jr. was 5th. Colin Garrett 6th. Travis Milburn 7th. Chase Cabaret was 8th. Derek Kraus 9th. And Haley Deegan rounded out the top 10. In the second race, let's see what we got there. We had Derek Kraus as the winner, followed by Chase Cabaret. Max McLaughlin 3rd, Tanner Gray 4th, Spencer Davis 5th, Drew Dollar 6th, Ruben Garcia 7th, Nick Sanchez 8th, Travis Milburn 9th, and Justin Carroll rounding out the top. The guy, the winner of that race, he looked pretty young.
I was just about to say that, but I didn't want to seem too old. I'm thinking, is he sponsored by Jolly Rancher or something? What's
Skittles.
It looks like it was a kid in a Halloween costume. That's what I just,
You know, when I walked through that truck garage on Friday, they were kids.
which a walker.
Yeah, that's what I felt like. And I'm walking around, and I ran into Brandon McReynolds, and we're talking. Actually, I ran into Brandon McReynolds having some adult beverages, that night, that evening, and he thought I was in my 40s. He goes, "Oh, I thought you were old, but I thought you were like 40."
I thought you were old, but I thought you were 40.
They're kids. They're kids. It's kind of interesting that they're kids, and then they think I'm old. I'm not old. I don't.
Yeah, 40's going to go over your 20 once with nothing left over.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't even know where to begin with this oldness. But
Oldness.
but with I was talking to Brandon McReynolds and why he was not at the K&N races in South Boston, but he's a driver coach for one of the truck drivers, Noah Gregson.
Okay.
He's a driver coach, and it's in his contract. Wherever Noah goes, he has to go. And he was, not that he was upset, he was disappointed that he was going to miss the 2 events because he was sitting 3rd in points.
Yeah.
And now he's 13th.
Yeah.
And, but that's his deal. That's the deal he has. And I know talking to him about that.
Now it's a driver, not a car.
He's a driver, not a car owner. And I spoke to the car owner as well. And, Marie Visconti, she actually owns it. She's the listed registered owner of the race car. And the worst part of it is, yeah, they went from 3rd in points to 13, but they didn't have the ability to put a 74 on another K&N Pro Series car to earn the points. because you can get the owner points, because owner
Right.
points, driver points are
Right.
separate. They did plan on having a truck in the event, but due to the driver that was supposed to drive for them did not come through with what he was supposed to come through. And so they pulled out. And that's an interesting thing because, you know, everybody thinks you go racing, the sponsors foot the bill. Some drivers buy their rides. Some drivers come with a sponsor. Some drivers, daddy says, when you need son, daughter, okay, here's a check, I'll sign it, just find out the
Right. Well,
amount.
they have to have support.
Right.
So ultimately, you're renting the car, you're renting the team, you're renting the
Exactly.
facilities.
You know,
Whether you want to pay to play or whatever you want to
Yep.
call it. A lot of people say pay to play. That's like a curse word, but
Yeah.
ultimately, that sometimes is the truth. I mean, you know, at that level, how many people are saying, "All right, come on, let me give you a $4.5 million. Come
Right.
drive this for
Right.
me."
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's even
Now,
like,
if you have a sponsor that is your sponsor, and they're all in for you,
Right.
then they'll say, "Okay, you know what? I will sponsor you wherever you go."
Right.
So if you're in this truck, you're in that truck, you're in this car, that car, whatever it may be, I will sponsor this guy, Joe
Yeah.
Blow.
Oh yeah, and I was talking to a Cup driver. I'm not going to say who it was, but he was saying to me at the Cup level, in many instances, they don't know if they're going next week because they have sponsors that are week to week, and they're still in negotiation. And then it's a quick turnaround. It's if they give enough money, it's new fire suit. Now they have people that do that, but now that's the emblem has to be on the fire suit. The car has to be wrapped.
Sure, there's
You know?
money just to make that sponsor happy.
Yeah.
That you're not really using for your team.
Exactly.
I mean, per se, do you really need another fire suit? No. Do you really need the car rewrapped? No. Do you really need the name of that sponsor on your hauler or on your pit box or on your hats or on your shirts? That's all got to happen.
Yeah.
And you know, just to
Quick.
make that happen, you might be talking about $5,000 to $20,000, depending on where they need to be.
Exactly.
I mean, that's what I went through as a car owner too. You get a sponsor, and we never had week to weeks. I was not going to pull that
Yeah,
off.
me
I was
neither.
not going to make it happen. Most of the sponsors I got were big numbers, but they were
Yeah.
all for the year.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I'm not going to go ahead and start slapping names on, week to week. It's not worth it. And when you get to that, you're against the ropes.
Right.
You're up against the ropes. And I think part of the problem, and I'm not, I don't want to talk out of turn here and sound like I know what I'm talking about, but in my mind, as a marketing genius or super genius, if you will.
Yeah.
But as a guy who really, I enjoy marketing. I enjoy doing all the rest of those things and selling sponsorships because I'm good at it. I can't understand why you would get to the final hour where you don't know if you're going the next week.
Yeah.
That should really never happen.
No. And what happened in the past is you didn't see multiple sponsors on the top 15 cars in the Cup level. You saw DuPont and the Rainbow Warriors with Jeff Gordon.
And they foot the whole bill.
Foot the whole bill. Lowe's with Jimmy Johnson. When Terry Labonte won his championship, Kellogg's was all over that car. STP in the Richard Petty days.
Well, one of the reasons for that is because that's what they wanted. That was the deal that they made. But if they ever won a race, even though you had DuPont, when Jeff Gordon won a race or whoever was in that car, they would always have associate sponsors.
Right.
And Coca-Cola was giving them a couple of bucks, and
Yeah,
this
yeah.
guy was giving them a couple of bucks. And really all you had was a scare sticker on the car somewhere.
Yeah.
Ultimately. So you didn't have DuPont splashed all over the car,
Right.
or as an ocean sponsor splashed all over the car like DuPont, but there were other people in there as well. So even though DuPont might have been dropping $10 or $15 million for the sponsorship, ultimately you had all these other people that were dropping $1 million or $2 right here and there.
Yeah.
And
Which
those,
is
are
a lot of money.
and those are the weekly ones? I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, no.
Slapping a sticker on the car, that's not a big deal.
You want to give me $1 million for the week? Okay.
Right. We're going to rewrap this car anyway. It's a different story. But again, it's not going to be at the last minute.
No. No, can't be.
Not going to be at the last minute, and ultimately we'll have somebody bang out a little embroidered, label, and we're going to stick it on the driver's suit. We're just going to,
Yep. I mean, I'm sure.
Just put 2 stitches in that thing because it may be coming off next week.
Coming off. I know a guy on Long Island who's a major supplier of fire suits and T-shirts and shirts and everything, and he could turn it around pretty quick, but he has to know.
Well, there's also a premium for that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and everything costs a premium to make it happen and get it shipped overnight.
Right.
And,
Oh, yeah.
There's just so many parts and pieces. And you know what? If you're falling all over yourself to try to get a fire suit and get all the rest of that stuff, how are you focusing on racing?
Right. And I
You
saw.
you take your focus and everything else you're doing away from the final outcome, which, again, it's that whole race car driver, team owner thing. Again, race car drivers and team owners, if you're a race car driver and a team owner, you've come from, a local track, you're not a marketing guru. You're not a marketing genius. You're not, that's not your thing.
No.
You don't have the salesman quality to go out and sell something. You know somebody, you have a relationship with somebody.
Absolutely.
You could talk to them and say, hey, listen, cut me a check, blah, 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 and the guy will cut you a check. But you need somebody who's out there 24/7, that's their job.
Knocking on doors, making
phone calls.
Yeah,
but making it happen.
Yeah.
That's what they do. And you don't need to focus on that. You need to focus on other things.
And money's tight today. Money is tight. It's not like years ago, and a lot of stuff is not write-offable like it was years ago, changing the tax laws. So these guys, they're out there just trying to get to the next race, some of them. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, really working race to race. Some of them even have, pit crews that they're not paying.
Right.
Who are volunteer.
Yeah. And I saw during the truck race, a lot of crews didn't have matching fire suits on pit road. And a lot of the crews are rented. You rent this guy for the day, for the weekend. And your key is the jack man, and who comes with his own jack. He comes with his own jack.
Well, that's it. At that level, that's what you kind of do. Yeah. I'm bringing my own air gun with me.
Yeah,
this is my air gun. This is my, this is Sally. This is my pride and joy.
Yeah.
And that's what they do.
That's what they do.
And you have to do that sometimes.
Yeah. Hey, we got to take a break. When we come back, we'll have some news coming out of NASCAR. Not a lot of stuff, but just enough to make it interesting when we come back.
Hey guys, this is Jibs from Ocean's 8, Alaska, and you're watching Inravio TV Network.
Village Music Shop of Mastic. 1-800-HEY-DUDE. Your full-service store with personalized attention, school band instrument rentals and sales, music instruction on all instruments for all styles and age groups, for guitars, drums, amplifiers, PA systems, and accessories. It's Village Music Shop, 1495 Montauk Highway in Mastic. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE or go to villagemusicshop.com.
Hey, I'm Raul Panther.
And I'm Commander B. Hawkins.
And I'm Mert Weller. We're some of the proto men. If we see you without this bracelet, you're punching the But if you have this bracelet from Inravio.com, you can win $100.
Put one of these on, or else.
What's up, guys? This is Assuming We Survive, and you're watching Inravio TV Network.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Inravio can get your message out there, and we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Inravio.com.
Hey, welcome back.
Welcome back to the show.
You know, sometimes, if we didn't have commercials, but we need commercials.
Absolutely.
We could just, because what we talk about offline.
Well, it's the extended, extended version of the show.
It is. But anyway, just today, NASCAR announced a new contract partnership with the Action Network, the most trusted source for sports betting insights and analytics as part of the sports, and it continues to push and educate and engage fans around legalized sports betting. Now, with this deal, NASCAR becomes the first professional sports league to partner with the Action Network around shared sports betting content. There's going to be like pari-mutuel betting in NASCAR. And the fantasy leagues will get odds for their fantasy league games and whatnot, just like football.
So NASCAR's going to be getting a cut of the take. Is that what the idea
Yeah,
is?
which I don't understand because...
Isn't that a conflict?
Well, they just made a rule in January, if you're caught betting on a race, you're suspended. So I guess now, if, let's say, we'll say Jimmy Johnson is the odds-on favorite to win, and whoever, Kurt Busch is, going to show.
60 to 1.
It would be who's ever behind Jimmy Johnson to push him out of the way. Because, they didn't bet on him. So I guess that's what they're saying. If you bet, you can't, you'll be suspended. I don't know. It'd be interesting.
But your uncle, Joe Vazul can bet, right?
Yeah. Oh, Joe Biden, because he doesn't have a NASCAR license.
Right.
So
you give Joe Vazul the money, and he puts the bet.
And Tony Baker Donuts is holding the money. Oh, yes. And what else? NASCAR ejected the car chief of the 10 Cup car after encountering issues in pre-race tech. The car driven by Eric Almirola failed tech twice, and NASCAR had to eject car chief Chris Haney. And encountering issues.
Is that because he was upset?
Maybe their shoulders rubbed, he's trying to rub shoulders with the officials. They didn't like that. And they literally, because I've seen this happen, will walk you to the gate where security then walks you off the property. So you're sitting in Dover, you're sitting on Route 13, sitting there. You want to go in, you got to buy a ticket. Your hard card technically is no good. They take it away. Take it away, because a hard card, I had a nice credential for the weekend, and I just showed it everywhere I went. I had full access. I went out to the souvenirs and, bought some stuff that I didn't need so I can get another Matchbox car, to add to my collection.
Another dust collector.
They're in a bin that's this big and this deep. All neat, so, they don't move around. I don't even know what I have anymore. But anyway, I would just, I'm in the garage here. Oh, okay, right this way. It was good. But, this is happening more often. That now I'm sure on Tuesday, tomorrow, when they have their competition meeting, there'll be Chris Haney, we making a fine, making a donation to NASCAR.
Of course. Well, he's going to be back in next week.
Yeah, but he'll be back in next week. But I've been asked to leave racetracks. And, it's kind of humbling when they come over and they cut your wristband and walk you to the gate. All your stuff's still there. No, can I get no. What about my wallet? No. So I was escorted more than once to the gate with no money because I'm in my fire suit. You don't race with your wallet. It's locked in your truck. Yeah. And then on Wednesday, I get this overnight letter. Actions detrimental to auto racing. You are asked to not even buy a ticket and watch. So, I saved one just to remind myself. Yeah. You never got one of those.
Fun times. No, I never did get one of those. No,
you never got one of those.
Never got one of those.
Yeah,
you know what? I don't know. Did I ever get that hot?
Never.
I don't think I ever got that hot.
No.
I know I got out of the car once and I was walking down, and I don't remember why I was walking down the pit, But I jumped out of the car after a race, and I was walking down the pit, and I turned around, and there had to be 50 people behind me.
Oh, yeah.
And I look, and they all like stop, like, nothing's going on. And they were following me. They were all friends of mine, but they were following me because they thought something was going to happen.
Yeah.
So they had my back.
Yeah.
So they were coming along, as backup.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's the last thing I need is to start a brawl, because I was friendly with most everybody in the pits.
I wasn't.
One way or another, but there was some people that I didn't get along with.
Yeah, well,
they didn't get along with me, I guess.
exactly.
Maybe that's what.
There was a time I got out of the car, and I was hot. I was born, but nobody knew it. Nobody knew I got out. I
grabbed the 4x4?
No, just what I did. I took a Pepsi because I drank Pepsi, which was kind of stupid. I should have drank water.
Pepsi
and I
in
guzzled
one
down
hand.
the Pepsi, and it's like going all over me down my fire suit. And then I went and grabbed my jack, like I was putting it on the trailer.
Took the handle
Took
off.
the handle off, and just like dragged it alongside of it. and
old
somebody
gag.
goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, so-and-so, their fender's rubbing in the tire, and usually a jack handle helps it. And they're trying to stop me, and I just keep going. And yeah, I was asked that maybe I should go bowling the next couple Saturdays.
Go bowling.
I think one year I bowled more than I raced.
There's a crochet squad over there you should go.
But I crashed with somebody, and everybody. I got out of my truck. I was racing the truck, and I got out of the truck, and next thing I know, event staff has surrounded my truck. They won't let me out because the guy crashed. His guys were being held back from attempting to do bodily harm to me. And I said, "Just bring them over. I can handle it." "No, there's like 10 of them." "All right, I got 21 bullets. I get two shots each, and I got one left." Then they really wouldn't let me out.
I'm sure. You can't start talking like that.
No, but whatever. I knew there was going to be an issue. Anyway, I guess we should take a quick break so we can wrap up, because I don't know what we got left. I wasn't keeping track today. But we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, there's just a couple of things we'll close with, and I know you have one or two more items that you might want to discuss maybe. But we're going to take a break now, if that's okay with our control room person.
Hi, I'm Remington.
I'm Emerson.
And I'm Sebastian. We're Palais Royale, and you're watching Inravio TV.
There we go.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Inravio can get your message out there, and we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Inravio.com.
Hey, this is Chris Les Jake, and if Inravio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
Village Music Shop of Mastic. 1-800-HEY-DUDE, your full-service store with personalized attention, school band instrument rentals and sales, music instruction on all instruments for all styles and age groups, for guitars, drums, amplifiers, PA systems, and accessories. It's Village Music Shop, 1495 Montauk Highway in Mastic. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE or go to villagemusicshop.com.
Hi, this is Mike Jarecki from My Race News, and you're watching the Inravio TV network.
And welcome back. It's a good thing we do not broadcast the break.
Not this time. Oh, my goodness. Hey, a good buddy of ours and a supporter of our show from Metropolitan Recycling.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. Jimmy.
Congratulate
awesome.
to Jimmy Rennick Racing.
I was very happy to see that he won this past weekend.
You know,
Jimmy Rennick Jr.?
I think it was last year, he came off the racetrack and he was so disappointed that he wanted to quit. He wanted to quit. Nothing was working right. He wanted to go, and he wasn't going to he was going to load up and go home after the heat race or after practice. And his crew went to town. Not only his crew, but C.J. Lehman's crew, another crew on the other side, went to town on his truck, and it was a little better, but still he was done.
Very disappointed.
And you know, and I know what it's like to go out there and run like, you know, in the back where you can't pass.
Put your heart and soul into it and get nothing out of it.
And so he went out and won. And Jimmy, congratulations! Thanks for your support. I know you're watching our show just about every night, and if you don't catch it, you're catching on demand. So thank you. And,
yeah, absolutely. He won, and you know, I can't be happier for him.
You know, and I normally don't, you know, say stuff like that for the local guys, and maybe we should, but he's like part of our family.
Yeah, he's always supported us here, and you know, he's a good guy. You know what I mean? And you're supposed to be having fun. Last thing you want to do is see a guy come off the track and just want to pack it in, start throwing stuff. I mean, I've been there, I've done that, and believe me, I put plenty of money into that whole racing gig. And
you know, it's a passion. It's a passion.
Not get something out of it. You know, give me a nice finish. I don't even need to win. Give me something. You know.
You know, and
get me close.
And you
that
know,
close.
An opening night win, that makes your whole season.
Absolutely.
Whatever happens from here on, Jimmy, you won opening night, man.
It's all gravy.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I know, you know, the late Chris Young, a few years back, he had won the last night of the season. And he's walking around smiling. I know at the time, I know Chris Young from the 70s, from the early 70s. And he says, you know what the difference is winning like during the season and winning the last race? He says, what, Chris? When you win during the season, you got bragging rights.
For a week.
He goes, you win that last race, you got bragging rights to open the day. And you know, after he said it, I was like, you know what, Chris? Yeah. But for a guy who's been struggling in that truck since he bought it, a win, man.
Awesome.
Congrats, Doreen. And you know, my buddy JV, Visconti, I got to thank Marie, the truck owner, the K&N car owner, for the passes this past weekend, and unlimited access. And it was just a good time. I haven't been to a cup race or race that level in a long time. And Jimmy, thank you. You're welcome. I haven't been to a cup race in a long time, and I was teasing people. I says, you know, I kind of cut back. I went to a handful of races last year, 2 tour races, one at Stafford, one at Thompson, and 2 Riverhead nights. And the year before that, I went to a handful. And before that, I was going to 40 and 50 races a year. And I was kind of backpedaling. And I said, I was on the 11th step. I got to start all over. Because the smell, the sound, standing on pit road next to the tire carrier of the 99 truck in that truck race. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm 61 years old. I can't go racing again. But just being there, they made me feel like $1 million, you know. And like you know, John was saying, we sat down and had a quick bite to eat. And he goes, maybe I should just get you on my team and find something for you to do. I said, well, look, there's not much I can do because I'm not mechanically inclined and I don't drive very well. So, but it was a nice place, and Dover is a very beautiful racetrack.
Yeah, it's a clean facility.
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely.
Very nice and easy in, easy out, parking, excuse me. It's right next to the casino. I only made a small donation, very small, So it was good.
I never made any donation when I was there. Last time I was there, we took a bus tour there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we went with a whole bunch of people, and we took a bus over there, and it was nice. Nice time.
Yeah, it is. It's a good one. I think the next one I'm going to will be at the Daytona. I'm going for the July 4th race, or that July 4th weekend. But the best part of not the best part, the whole part, but the thing that top was going into Dover Downs, into the whatever you want to call it. I hate to call it a bar because it's really not a bar. And having cocktails with Brandon McReynolds, Bubba Wallace, rounded drinks on Clint Boyer, hanging out with my cousin Freddie Kraft, and just being there with some of the drivers and the crews, talking race and just sitting there having a good time, telling stories, and it was just a good weekend. And it's been a long time since I was rubbing shoulders with these guys. So, when guys come, and it's kind of funny. I didn't recognize Bubba Wallace without his fire suit because he looks totally different. So I'm kind of stalking him. And I said, I gotta ask. So I go up to him. I said, "Are you Brandon Reynolds?" He goes, "Hey Joe, like the guy remember. He met me once. And I had glasses on. I didn't wear my contacts. And then, Bubba came over and Freddie introduced me. He goes, "He was at your wedding. We were hanging." And I said, "Yeah." And that's when, he gave me that little story that I told you about a little earlier. Yeah. But it's just interesting to see that whole group. It's like they didn't forget where they came from. And my money was no good at the bar. And I did slip some money in at one point. And you would have thought I gave that guy, that little circle of people, a gold bar each, because they're not used to that. I didn't want to just sit there taking. So I had to take.
Had to put something in.
Yeah, I had to put it up. And when they said no, I just gave it to the bar person.
Well, it's good to see that they're, still down to earth.
Oh yeah. Still down to earth. Good people, good racing people. I got to share with Brandon that when I met his dad in 2000, when he was crew chief for Dale Earnhardt Sr., the late Dale Earnhardt Sr., and how I asked him for his autograph, and he seemed annoyed by it. I said, Dad was like, "Oh, yeah, just take it, hurry up." And he goes, "Well, my dad's at the track, he's focused."
He's focused, yeah.
And he goes,
He's serious as a heart attack thing.
And he took the picture. I said, "I'm going to bring it the next time I'm on a racetrack that you're at and show you." Because he's smiling. I said, "No." He goes, "There you go." He was annoyed. I apologized. And he didn't say a word and just walked away after the picture.
Because he's focused, yeah.
Yeah, anyway. I think it's time we wrap it up. Yeah. It's time to wrap it up. So I want to thank everybody for taking time out of their busy schedules to watch, participate, and listen to our chat about racing. What went on in Dover.
Our racing rant.
Yeah, racing rant. And we do it nice now, not like I used to. Remember? There was a whole segment, the Joe rant. We stopped doing that. Yeah. No.
Good thing.
But anyway, this weekend we have the tour at Stafford, and we got some good stuff going on. So Mother's Day coming up this
Mother's
Sunday.
Day, hopefully no rainouts.
All right, hopefully no rainouts. If your mother's still around.
So this Sunday the races are off.
Or no races on Mother's Day, Father's Day.
That's one thing that they take off.
Yep. Make sure you call your mother. If you can't get there, visit, do whatever you got to do. And if your mother's no longer with us, like my mother, like Chuck's mother, keep them in your prayers. Go visit their little piece of granite in their place and leave some flowers because they know that you did it. They know.
Absolutely. And if your mother is here, you better go over there and take care of her.
Yeah. If you could drive there less than 5 hours.
Things happen too quick. And
yeah.
Don't take anything for granted.
No. My mother lived 18 houses away. She's always going to be there. One day she wasn't. So happy Mother's Day for the mothers who watch our show.
Absolutely.
And happy mothers to the mothers-to-be. And we'll see you all next week.
We'll see all you mothers next week.
That's right. Good night, everybody, and be safe.